I'm the best rapper alive since the best rapper retired. As bold as a statement as that is, he was right. No one could touch Lil Wayne after that. Wayne is the reason we even care about mixtapes today. He made them more popular than studio albums. But is that more important than what Hove did? Is that more important than the impact that Hove had on the community, on hip hop? I mean, Hove left the door open for Lil Wayne. But that doesn't matter. Or does it? Look, let's just get down to it. Whose time period was better? Who was more influential? Who was the best in their prime? Was it Jay-Z or Lil Wayne?
Alright, so to answer your question, man, look. Hove was dominating, I would say, from 97 to about 07. Even
I'll give you that.
That's about right. Even though he had retired, right? After the Black album, I feel like, and I think the Black album was like 07, 08, I believe so, right? From those points, man, like when he did like just Big Pimpin', Hard Knock Life. I mean, he had already dropped Reasonable Doubt, but his follow-up album wasn't as great. But like, the Volume 3, all Blueprint, all of that shit, he did all of that. And I think that the reason why we even chose this topic is because we saw it as a post that was on Twitter that, someone reposted on YouTube and asked, like, whose prime was better? And everybody in the comments was saying shit like, oh, I don't even know this was a question. Lil Wayne obviously was better. Well, hold the hell up. First of all, I was around during that time. And I was spry during that time, during my awakening as a man, young man, very young man. I remember everyone started rapping, talking about cheer. Everyone started saying that what they were rap, and that was because of Hove. Hove actually did have an impact when it came to clothes. People wanted to wear the motherfucking New York hats. People started wearing the jerseys. That was because of Hove. Fabulous had something to do with that too, but that was because of Hove. Like, motherfuckers used to wear Rockefeller gear because of Rockefeller Records, and Hove was the biggest one. Like, people started making radio hits. Now, of course, Biggie has something to do with that. Tupac has something to do with that. But I'm talking about multiple. You would come out and do a 3-song rollout. You go ahead and drop a song before the album comes out. Drop a song after the album comes out, like 2 weeks after, depending on what people think is the most popular. Then you'll drop a third single. Hove did that. Hove was one of the first hip hop artists to buy his own masters. Hove did that. Like, Hove was.
So hopefully none of y'all have to go through that.
Word. Hove did that. So y'all don't gotta go through that. Like, Hove was the artist that brought $100,000 to the record station in New York and was like, yo, I want y'all to spin my fucking record. Can't knock the hustle. And they was like, bro, we don't do business like that. You can't just come up here with $100,000 in fucking bags talking about here. This nigga came in the game 100 bands strong. Like, he was the one that did that, bro. He did that shit independent.
Right.
You gotta remember, Rockefeller was an independent label, bro. Him, Master P, all of them cats, they did that shit. They were pioneers of that. They made ownership a thing. They signed joint ventures. So you have to understand that Hove had that hella impact, and his prime was 10 years, and that motherfucker made classic albums that we still listen to today.
Well, I want to say kind of so does Wayne as well. But also, whereas Jay-Z had the Skrilla for like some payola type shit, I think that's what Wayne did to mixtapes as well. Because, mixtapes was essentially free, man. If you know where to get them at, we got them on Dat Piff most of the time. You can make your own mixtapes.
Livewire, all type shit.
Yeah. So I think Lil Wayne did the same thing to the mixtape game and essentially putting out free music, man, free lyrics to prove that he was the best of all time since Jay-Z left out, man. So I think it's those two different eras, those two different hustles, but it's kind of the same hustle because a hustle is a hustle no matter what.
Right.
So if it's taking 100 G's up to a radio station saying spin this, I mean, obviously they both work. It's essentially doing the same thing, just different time frames, man. But I can honestly see why this is an argument to be had. When I first thought about this, the answer was as simple as, to me, I was like, yo, Prime Hove is better. But I looked at both of theirs primed. And like you said, between like 97 and 90, or 97 to 90, 07, 2007, 97, those were Hove's years. I would probably give it more of 2000 when he dropped Rock La Familia. When it Give It To Me, give me that hunk, that's gushy stuff, around that song Dynasty, to right around
all of that.
The Dynasty. Yeah, Blueprint 2, Black Album. I kind of feel like those were his primes, those times were his prime, his best lyricism, maybe his best albums even. You could throw Volume 2 in there. I wasn't a big fan of Volume 3, but whatever. But then I went to go look at the discography of Lil Wayne. From the Carter 2 on to maybe the Carter 4. And he dropped some crazy albums in between that time. A couple rock albums. He did the Rebirth and, but still you had the Carter 2 and then the Carter 3. Right. I'm Not a Human. And he had a couple mixtapes in there as well. I don't know the answer to that question. I want to say that they're kind of even. They're kind of equal. And as far as their primes go, I don't think one was better than the other. I want to say that Jay-Z's was more monumental or meant more to hip hop. But if you look at Lil Wayne got a lot of people on with mixtapes. Because if you're going on that Piff or wherever else to look for a Lil Wayne mixtape, you probably go find somebody else. And through Lil Wayne making mixtapes, a lot of people got their start as well. So he opened the floodgates for other people as well to kind of follow him. So I say Jay-Z left the door open for Lil Wayne. So when Jay-Z pieced out, Lil Wayne took that throne and he went a different route with it in the mixtapes and everybody else just kind of followed. So if you were in that mixtape game, that mixtape era, that was like the sweet spot of hip hop. Like you got in from like the ground level, but it was a natural positive swell that you got. So if you became somebody's favorite rapper in that time frame, in that mixtape era, it was a natural thing. You were a natural artist, I believe, because you put your art out there, or you put your voice on another production or a popular hip hop song. And it was all because of, Lil Wayne saw the vision. Mm-hmm. He saw the road and he wanted to take that road and it was successful. So both of these artists in their prime helped out hip hop more than a lot of people would think that they did. So to answer the question, I don't know whose is better than whose. I know that they were quite equal to me though. What do you feel, man?
So I would say that Hove's was better. That's my opinion. Because I think Hove has.
You're not wrong.
I think Hove's had more classic albums than Wayne. I understand where people are coming from, where like Wayne had more classic mixtapes. Yeah, but Hove never dropped the fucking mixtape because there wasn't no real such thing as mixtapes in the way that y'all see it. Like that you gotta understand, Hove is from you got to press the motherfucking album. Yeah, I mean, this nigga was recording in the 80s.
Right.
You got to do tape, nigga. They recorded with tape. It wasn't nothing digital back then. That digital shit was new. He came into that era as an older man.
Respectfully though, you can't get mad at how things change.
Fuck
and
no.
how eras change. That's what it's supposed to do.
Right.
Like Jay-Z, like I said, Jay-Z left the door open. So he had to go through the press a nigga era, through the payola era, through the, shake hands, kiss babies era. And he did that. He did that work so like a Lil Wayne could come through and do the next ring of work, which is what he did through the mixtape. Because trust me, it may be easy to just like pick a beat or take a song off the radio and put that beat and you spit on that. But I mean, I know there's a lot more work when it comes to creating a mixtape, going in there with like a DJ drum or what have you, whatever the case is, man. It's a lot more to it than just saying, I'm going to steal this beat and spit to it. I know there's some work behind it, just like Jay-Z had his work behind his. I just don't want to take away from either one's era.
I'm not I mean,
you feel me?
You're going to have to if you're trying to determine what it is. Now, unfortunately, it is
Which
what
one
it
is better?
is.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry. Like, you're going to have to take away from certain shit. So, if you want to, since motherfuckers want to nitpick whose is better, I think Hove, and I think it's by a landslide because of the lyrical dominance of Hove. Hove tells stories that's based off of reality. Not saying that Lil Wayne don't. Hove tells stories that's based off of reality. Hove not only had radio singles that was banging, but he actually had full-length classic albums. He tries to teach you with albums such as 444, but he also can, of course, be on his jiggy shit, be on his pimp shit. He's able to adapt to almost any other type of producer that's out there, be it the Gurus, be it the Just Blazes, be it the Heat Makers, be it Dr. Dre.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He has done songs with major artists. Has he been watched on certain songs? Yep. And also, has he lost to one of the bigger artists like Nas? Yep. Those two things did happen. But he also held his own against the DMXs, against the Busta Rhymes, and was able to actually build up an entire record label and actually have success with almost every major artist on there. Also, the simple fact that culturally, he stood up for us more than Wayne ever has. Now, I know that's not talking about prime and hip hop, but I consider that shit because we supposedly are going, drawing straws of who's really the best. Now, Wayne did something that Hove didn't do. Wayne really, really got like the suburban kids to join hip hop. And I don't think he understands or will ever comprehend how important that is to the future of America.
Yeah.
Because Wayne was able to take the skater culture and the hip hop culture and merge it together. When you see hood niggas out here wearing Vans, that was not a thing until he made it a thing. Like the fact that Young Thug and all these niggas are cool with their sexuality and so singy songy is because of Wayne. Almost all of the rappers out here are kids of Wayne and Gucci. And nobody else. There's no longer a lot of kids of Hove. There's no longer a lot of spitters. So Hove opened that door where you had to be super nice to get on. Wayne said, yeah, okay, I got to be super nice. I have to be lyrical, but I also have to make songs. Wayne took that and was like, yo, I'm going to go ahead and do it my way. Bar for bar, though, I would actually kind of have to take Wayne. Bar for bar, I trust Wayne will have more punchlines, more double entendres, more different flows, and be able to jump on more beats than Hove could. But album-wise, I would take Hove. Because I don't see like the Carter 1 and 2 as being classics. The Carter 3 is a classic, okay. But like mixtape-wise is where he really shined. Where he doesn't have to make songs that have to be on the radio. He can just flow. And when you let Wayne just rap, it's over. I don't think nobody can beat him. Prime Wayne just flowing without no song, without no hook constraints, without no album. When he just gets a beat and rhyme, nobody can beat him on the planet. There's nobody better than that boy at that. Nobody.
Yeah.
But song wise and whose prime was better, I think if you calculate everything, albums, cultural impact, the domination of the industry, beefs, all of that shit, I give it to Hove. But who's the better rapper out of both of them? That's Lil Wayne, in my opinion. I mean, Lil Wayne they went bar for bar, and Lil Wayne did very well against Hove on his own song, which was weird because he did a song called Hello Brooklyn, and nobody understands why Wayne was on that song.
Wayne was on there. I agree. I absolutely agree with that. I don't care if it was just I don't get it.
I don't. What, nigga?
Yeah.
What? Why don't take somebody else from Brooklyn that rap?
Yeah, word, man. You could have put Freeway on that shit, man. Come on.
Freeway from Philly.
Oh, right. Okay. Beanie Siegel.
He's from Philly.
Yeah.
That's all.
He's Philly too? Okay.
Philly
all right.
One of them niggas.
Okay, well, damn. Yeah.
Maybe
One of them niggas
Wayne.
be signed to the rock. Yeah, man. Shit. Yeah, man. I feel what you're saying about, because I just want to keep it at prime. I don't want to keep at who's better lyrically or who makes better albums, man, because I feel like that's a completely different topic. But you're right. I know, no, but I would take Jay-Z lyrically because
What?
after a while, like Lil Wayne would just say a bunch of flim flam, and Jay-Z will take his time and
Make songs that's
you know,
based off
make
of life
some
and
thought provoking
right.
shit. Right.
And Wayne, you have a point because, and I had to learn this. For example, I'm writing a song now. One of the punchlines that I said, "We the bomb for a good purpose, equal terrorist." Right?
Ooh.
So, but it doesn't match up. The other 3 bars that's in that 4-bar, whatever, doesn't match up to the rest of it. Cause I'm talking about something else. Like, I'm God MC, go against you. I bring pestilence. I'm not spiritual. I'm spiritual. I'm not religious. I'm a separatist. So like I'm saying like I'm you know what I'm saying, like I'm saying other bars, but when I say equal terrorist, that doesn't match up with what the fuck is going on the other bars. I'm just saying something to have a nice punchline. That's how Wayne raps.
Right.
Whole raps, the whole verse is a continuously story or on the same subject. He writes in paragraphs. So bar wise, Wayne will kill him. But verse wise, Hove is better. It's very weird. And when you talk about Prime, when I say Prime Wayne, I think Prime does have a lot to do with what you were saying then. What do you consider Prime?
Prime to me is their pinnacle of their career.
Okay.
So like I say, Jay-Z's prime was like 2000s. I Just Want to Love You. The Dynasty, and
Blueprint.
Maybe around Volume 2. Volume 2 is probably when he got as big as he got his fame. So yeah, so 2000s was the Dynasty era. That 2001, 2002, then Blueprint 2, yeah, or Blueprint 1, and then with Lil Wayne, I want to say it was the mixtapes, that mixtape era for a few years, and then the Carter 3.
Yeah,
that was his pinnacles to me. The Carter 2 was dope, but he wasn't where he needed to be just yet. He was getting there though.
You got to also add in the element as well that rappers said that they helped Wayne get to where he was lyrically. Now I think that that's just part of it.
Like who? Like who?
I can't remember the cat's name. I don't know how I brought it up. I can't remember this nigga name, but it's a rapper out there that said that. Anyway, moving past that bullshit. My thing with Wayne.
So that mean like they wrote his rhymes for him?
I don't think they did. I think they helped him with punchlines and how to actually like make songs.
See, I hate that shit. That's what you're supposed to do.
That shit gets on my nerves because when you're an artist, you're supposed to have the trust of having people around you. But sometimes this is not how it is. Motherfuckers will use any advantage to get on. It is what it is. So if they got to diss Lil Wayne to get on, they'll do it. And I ain't mad at you, but you just gotta understand that that's not the best way to do it. But he's fine.
Yeah.
But what I would say is that Wayne could really, really rap. And I don't think that he does get enough credit for it. But people my age and people your age, I don't think that we consider him one of the best rappers ever because he did do a lot of shit that is just like, that changed the culture to what it is today. You know, like a lot of that singy, songy shit, and I'm talking about a different like level, not the Ja Rules and where it was kind of like acceptable and cool.
I got a bomb for you. I just thought about Lil Wayne is to hip hop what Allen Iverson was to the NBA. Shit changed completely. Yeah. When Iverson was in the NBA, like the NBA is the reason the NBA is what it is today. People just walking through the halls trying to look jiggy and shit and trying to just be in themselves with tattoos all over. It's because of Allen Iverson. The same goes for Lil Wayne. That's why I can't discredit what he's done. Even if I can say I don't like the Carter 4 or the Carter 2, or I can say I don't like whatever. But what he's done for hip hop and the way he's changed the world, the way Lil Wayne has changed the world is absolutely astonishing. Because when he first came out and said, "I'm the best rapper alive," and you looking at this dude and you like,
right.
Yeah, all right, nigga, whatever.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, nigga, go get your braids retwisted or some shit. You know what I mean? But he proved it. He proved that shit, and he proved it quick. Like, whatever it was that he did, man, like whatever practice he got or whatever albums he listened to that made him just like switch his way of thinking and want to put his words together that way. It worked. And he took that and he just became, this huge walking caricature of human beings. And it worked so well. And we turned into that. And so many people wanted to start skating because this nigga started skating. It was like, yo, you go learn how to skate. We go learn how to skate along with you. Like everything that Lil Wayne was is everything that the world came out to be. And it's still kind of that way because like you said, you have your Young Thugs and just pretty much all your artists that are out nowadays. The younger artists. You got the,
I mean, I can say the Two Chainz,
I don't know,
Two
man.
Chainz, Gunna, NBA Youngboy, Kodak Black. All of them motherfuckers are influenced by that. The tattoos, the face tattoos, the drinking of the lean, the way that they dress, the way that they rap. Like, even though they not lyrically as better, none of them are good. None of them is nowhere near Wayne. Yeah. He changed the way that you rhyme off of beats that are fast or like slower with heavy 808s where you can actually spit bars and lines too. And his cadence was perfect. Like he had 4 or 5 word cadences. He's trying to say something witty. That motherfucker was a southern boy that could rap like he was up north.
Yeah.
That's the reason why 2 Chainz did a whole album with that nigga, because he wanted to give him his roses while he was here. Mm-hmm. Like, I think, and this might be my opinion, like, you know, a wrong opinion, or some people might think I'm stupid, but I feel like his best guest feature verse was on Bands Will Make Her Dance.
Why?
Well, for one, Bands Will Make Her Dance is like one of my favorite songs ever made. So
it's near and dear to your heart.
Yes.
So that's it. That shit tugs on your heartstrings.
Straight
man.
up. You know how other people we listen to. I don't watch Little House on the Prairie or whatever you fuck motherfucker be listening to. Christina Aguilera. I don't know what the fuck y'all listen to out there in these streets. But for me, it's that song. And because of the way that he rhymed on that shit, man, like to switch up the flow. I want your real name, not your stripper name. Like the way that he switches flows up and put bars in alignment and tells his story and go from smooth to gangster. Yeah. Niggas don't do that. Everybody is real monotone. Oh, I like your voice. Stick to this voice forever. Like, that's how motherfuckers is. He always experimented. I mean, the nigga did a rock and roll album. Yeah. Like, and that shit was not bad at all. I mean, it ain't fucking Guns N' Roses, but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you know, I mean, I might have to give it another listen, but I might take your word for it as well. I don't know.
I'm just saying, like,
we'll see.
I don't want this to come across as just like, oh, I'm on Hove's side, so fuck Wayne.
Yeah, I feel you.
Nah, I was there when Wayne, I was wearing Vans and skinny jeans because of Wayne. Like, I did that because of him. Like, he made a whole culture of people wanting to be Bloods because of Wayne, bro. Niggas ain't want to be no fucking Bloods until Wayne popped off. And then the fucking Dipset, Nick, he changed Dipset. That's how dope Lil Wayne was. Like, he literally changed Dipset's whole way of rhyming because of his ass. Yeah. When he started doing songs with them, they straight switched it up. They started using different beats, everything. He helped propel the South further because the South had their own version of Hove. They had their own, like, Kendrick. They had their own GOAT that was consistent, not like an Andre 3000. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not consistent at all. You know, he did his shit and he dipped. Yeah. Like, nah, Wayne still drops music to this day. So,
and if I could jump on that, I think he drops too much music, and I think there is a such thing as too much music where people will get tired of you, and your shit is just it'll just start to sound like monotone after a while.
He did it all.
And I remember like, and you just did a little too much. Like, we want to hear from you, but like dropping albums with like 30 songs, I'm like, bro, like, I don't have time for this, Lil Wayne. Come on, bro. Give me like 12 dope ones, 15 dope ones, some guest appearances. Excuse me. That's what I want to hear, you know? But yeah, it's one of those things that you just gotta kind of think about Lil Wayne, he's done a whole lot, not just for the community, just for the world at large, man. I don't want to say done a lot, like he's changed the world at large. Yeah,
world, not him personally. No.
Yeah. So so he is important to the world, whereas Jay-Z is important to the culture, and us watching Jay-Z succeed, I think is just as important, if not more important. But I can't figure out I can't even say that because I don't know which one is more important, But what
I think Hove is more important.
Go ahead.
Because, and I know we just talking about primes, but Hove's prime becoming the top artist at the time during when music was, like we talked about before, you sold 15 million copies and shit. Like niggas had to go buy your album. Hove being one of the top. Word.
But what about the impact though?
I mean,
what about the impact?
You don't think Hove had a direct impact on Wayne?
I understand that. I feel that, but Wayne is having an impact on the world and like these kids, man. Still, like, ain't nobody checking for Hove no more.
Hove,
but, us.
I mean, Hove had an impact on us, and we had an impact on them. So it's kind of like a cascading effect. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right. So if you're gonna say that, like, one can't be better than the other, it's like one was needed in order for the other, and like so on and so forth. Like it's like almost like a trickle down effect. And I don't know.
Right, but prime wise. I mean, you can even look at album numbers. I know Hove outsold everybody because that's just obvious. Hove had the most number one records of all time until Drake broke it. Obviously, right? Every time Hove dropped the album, it was number one. It went platinum. Obviously, right? Besides his first one. You know what I'm saying? So that's not a big deal. Like, everyone knows that shit, but we're not talking about album sales. That doesn't equate to who's the best. You know what I mean?
Right.
Mariah Carey
Agreed.
Or Jennifer Lopez sell a whole bunch of fucking albums, but she can't outsing Mariah Carey. Like, come on, man. Yeah. Everybody know that. And I'm talking about Mariah Carey that was at the fucking New Year's Eve show that didn't even remember the song. She can't outsing.
Well, Mariah Carey now.
Yeah, right. Like now. So, but, but Hove, I think Hove during his time did have a lot more competition as well. And you kind of got to factor that in, bro. I mean, it was times where he wasn't the best artist in his label. Like, Beanie Siegel was out here killing niggas, man.
Now, I can fight that. I can fight that.
Okay.
I can fight that by saying, like, Lil Wayne, he had a lot of people he had to fight on the mixtape scene as well. Wasn't nobody really trying to go at him because they listened to him like, oh shit, this nigga can beat me. But a lot of people were unafraid in Jay-Z's era, whereas in Lil Wayne, you had a lot of uppercomers, he's during his mixtape time, but they wanted to work with him rather than to compete with him. You know what I mean? Like, it stopped being a competition in hip hop after a while because everybody just started working with everybody.
Yeah, I do agree with that. And it's kind of like how the NBA is now. Niggas want to join up. Back when we was young, it wasn't like that. Michael Jordan had his own motherfucking team. Right. And you know what I'm saying? Like, he ran his shit and that's what it was. But Shaquille O'Neal had his own motherfucking team. And then Kobe wanted his own team. Everyone had their own shit. Tim Duncan. Everybody had their own shit. You had your niggas with you, but you had your own shit. Now everybody team the fuck up. Niggas is trading teams like they changed draws. You got James Harden over this motherfucker in New Jersey or in New York. Now this nigga just drove down I-95 and went to Philly for the same shit. It's the same niggas, basically. They both dominant MVP level motherfuckers. People are like that. People will switch up. People want to collaborate now. Everybody want to collaborate, which is fine. But Wayne was so much better than everybody that it was kind of unfair if you think about it. Like, he was literally better than he was miles ahead of niggas in his prime. So maybe that could be a win for Wayne. Because he was light years ahead of people. He was thinking on another level. Literally, I'm not a human type rap. Compared to everyone else in that era. To the point where he influenced Drake, J. Cole, and Kendrick Lamar. Basically, 3 living goats that's still active. So you got a point. You have a point, bro. But Hov, they were just a lot of, like, you had to be really nice to make it in rap. So you had niggas like CNN, Mobb Deep, and Mobb Deep ain't selling millions of records, but they still dropping heat every week. You had 50
they see
come
spitting,
out. They niggas is spitting, nigga. Like he was rapping in the era of Biggie and Tupac. He was out then selling records along people considered the GOATs of all time. I mean, Nas was in his era, bro. Not to mention Wu-Tang, Busta Rhymes, DMX, Eminem. Like, he was with GOATs, nigga. Yeah, when Wayne was at the top, Wayne was like, I'm the best rapper alive. Everybody was like, yeah, I guess. Because I ain't got nothing. I can't do that. I can't. I mean, I guess that, like, Hov has so much competition.
So here's the thing. So, here's the thing. Like, Hov had so much competition, but he was the best at his craft. In his era, yeah. Even with all that competition, where Lil Wayne was the best and nobody could touch him. He was so light years ahead of him. So it's like, right. I don't know which one is more like better or important or historical.
And this is the only way you can think about it, even though this is unfair because there's so many different advantages that Wayne had. Wayne could drop an album. He could drop a mixtape weekly because of the fucking internet. They didn't have that back when, really didn't have that capability when Hov was in his prime, right? He had to go through the record label to drop an album. He can't just drop an album every week. That's a big benefit, bro. When you can just keep dropping mixtapes until one is just the best shit ever. You couldn't do that. And then you couldn't really rap over other people's beats like that and release it because you had copyright infringement. During Wayne's era, ain't nobody give a fuck at all. Fuck you and the law. That's the benefit,
I guess nobody cared either because it was like dope shit.
Everybody was doing it.
It was just like good shit. Yeah, right.
Kill this remix. Who gives
it'd be different if it was sucked. Yeah, right.
Remember Drake just jumped on Versace? Didn't tell the boys. Yeah. And then messaged them on Twitter after he did it. He did that to the Migos.
I didn't know that.
Yes. He didn't say nothing. Somebody looped the beat for him. He was like, I'm going to rap over this. Versace producer had on me like that. But that niggas is like, he took our flow. He took the song. Everyone thought that was his song. But we on. What they going to say? No?
Right.
That's the technology.
Right. They better call me up and ask for the check. Yeah. Come on.
That's the technology. Like, you couldn't do that back then, bro. It was first of all, how you gonna do it? Second of all, where you getting the beat from? Who gonna loop it? And then who gonna let you release it on the radio? Because there wasn't no internet. You can't just share it with your homeboys unless you're sharing tapes. So you gotta think about that. But I know we don't want to consider technology. But back to my original point, there is something to say about the dominance of Wayne that no one was near him. But would Wayne had survived and been the top rapper in Hov's era? That's a question. My answer, he would have fit right along with Redman and Busta Rhymes and all those other crazy Cannabis, all those other Eminem, all those other crazy artists that had them weird beats but could flow. I felt like he would have been fine.
He would have been one in a million then.
No, I just think he would have been one of the GOATs.
It's better.
I think he would have been one of the GOATs.
No, I think he would have been. It's better that he came out in the era that he came out in because he just would have got clogged up in there. Because here's the thing with that. You have Redman. Redman is dope as fuck. Redman is a genius. His lyrics are off the chain. Excuse me, but Redman never sold like millions upon millions like that. He was always consistent. He always had some dope tracks. Everybody knows who Redman is. Always the funny guy, Reggie Noble. Him and Meth, they did the Blackout joint. You know what I mean? How high and all that. But I'm telling you, his solo albums, like his 90s solo albums, unless you was a hip hop head, you really didn't get down with him like that.
If you did get
like
down
he didn't
with
sell
that
a whole lot.
If you did get down with him, you be like, yo,
you got a treat.
Yo, this nigga could rap.
Right.
Like,
but Lil Wayne would have been, I feel like Lil Wayne would have been more like a Redman. And even with his lyricism, with the punchlines, he would have been like a Redman. Or like you say, a Busta Rhymes. But I don't think he would have been like in between them.
But see,
I don't think he would have sold like.
He did survive and sell records in that era. Because remember, he was with Hot Boys. He was a baby. But if he came out with that shit, but he was a grown man.
Okay.
They did take over.
I don't think so, man. I don't think so. I think he needs to stay in that era because there was nothing really. This is that 2000s music was trash episode that we're talking. This is that episode all over again. Because if the era that Lil Wayne came out in was perfect because the only other thing that was popping was like the Soulja Boy and the pop music and the Shake the Laffy Taffies and all that other shit. Like that's what was popping in hip hop. So you needed that
100-bar songs, like.
Right. Damn. You needed that shit, man. So it was good. And also around that time, that's when Game came out with Doctor's Advocate and all those albums. So you needed them niggas that was keeping it gully when it was getting kind of washed out with the poppy shit.
That's
when
Jadakiss came back in and started dropping hits and shit again. Jadakiss started coming back. So Ye was out there rapping his ass off. He had with the backpack movement. And that's what
Lil Wayne was the savior of that, bro.
Yeah,
he was the savior.
He was. I think that he was better than Ye at that time, Game at that time, any other artist at that time. Yeah. But like, I think that he was like, literally like, light years ahead of them niggas, man.
Yeah.
But I also have to remember he did come out in 98. He was young. We didn't know, but he did come out. I think he was like 14 when he came out, bro. He was young. He was still spitting. So he might have been able to carve out his way, you know what I mean, and switch the game up. Because hey man, I don't put it past that boy, man. Do I think he would have had the cultural influence with the Vans and the way we dress and skateboarding and all that shit? Fuck to the no. Fuck no. But I think bar wise, he could have survived.
That is necessary though. The whole changing of the clothing, you know.
He did.
Yeah.
He changed. I mean, he is the father of all of these niggas, man. Even Drake. He's the father of Drake too. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. Like Drake would have never signed with Cash Money if it wasn't for motherfucking Wayne, bro. At all.
Agreed.
Like we would have had Drake, but it would have been different. It would have been different.
Then it would have signed a Universal or some shit. Yeah.
Yeah, it just would have been different. Cause I know like they gave him carte blanche over there at Young Money and Cash Money. Like, man, just do what the fuck you want to do. And if if Wayne was never as great as he was, we might not have actually gotten a lot of Cash Money shit. Like we might not have gotten Nicki and Drake to the level they were pushed because Cash Money might not have survived. I mean, what do they do? Keep dropping Birdman albums? I mean, let's keep it a buck. I don't know.
Then they kept Birdman alive, yo.
Word.
Then
like Father Like Son, you remember that song?
Yo. Yeah, I remember.
But that song was
dope.
Dope.
Like my daddy.
That song was dope.
Yeah,
man.
that shit was. He made that song dope.
Yes, he did. Because other than that shit would have been garbage. So
whack.
I'm just saying, like another boy and nigga rapping. So doing this. Never got that. Fuck is up with that?
Rubbing his hands together, like, all right, man.
All right, something about to happen. Some business about to happen. Oh God, but yeah, man. I guess like to end it off. Before I thought it was a landslide for Hove. I think it's very, very, very comparable when you start to get down to the nitty gritty. Like I can see why motherfuckers certainly that was born in like the social media era. When they were starting to get on the phones, they had social media from the grip. For those niggas, they don't know nothing but Wayne. Wayne is their GOAT.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, so they don't know what the fuck you talking about when it's all. I literally saw comments where niggas was like, when I think Hove, I think businessman. Not crack dealer, not all of the shit that he's done, bro.
Right.
Like
his business acumen.
Is what
has surpassed even his lyricism. Yeah, right.
God
yeah. Okay. All right.
I think Beyonce.
But I don't think that's wrong, though. I don't think that's wrong either.
Because he has to evolve.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why 444 was such a grown album.
Mm-hmm.
But, the Blueprint 3 is a fucking classic, man. Like, come on.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I feel where they coming from when it comes to Hove, because niggas that's older than us gonna say Rakim is the best. You know what I mean? Or LL Cool J was the GOAT. You know what I'm saying?
Every era has their favorite.
Right. Everyone, Biggie's the bomb. There's going to be a point soon, bro, that Biggie and Tupac will no longer be considered GOATs with this new generation. Because they don't know.
Yeah, somebody's going to have to keep them alive somehow. Right, yeah.
Like NBA Youngboy trying to keep them alive.
There's too many new GOATs. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I know, just like for another quick question, I don't think there is a GOAT that's around right now that's new.
That's new?
Yeah, that's like a new face that's come out in the past couple years. I don't see any.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, the closest thing you probably gonna get is like the Griselda niggas. Mm-hmm. Maybe Pusha T if you bring out a couple more albums, but he's been around since the Stone Age of hip hop. So like Pusha T was out when we was in high school. Nigga talking about grinding. He's still talking about cooking coke.
Yeah, that was high school,
yeah,
man.
Nigga, he's still talking about cooking.
But the shit is still good though, man. Yo, I got it, bro. Man, you brought that up. And I have another suggestion because you brought up clips. I'm gonna talk about it with you after this, but I got another suggestion about a topic that I want to talk to you about.
All right. Y'all niggas
Since you brought that up.
Y'all niggas stay tuned, bro. We're gonna talk about the clips or something like that. So Wayne, how about you go ahead and send this out, man?
No doubt, man. Thank y'all for listening so very much, man. We have been the You Feel Me podcast, man. You can find us at youfeelmepodcast.com. You can find this episode and other previous episodes, man. Y'all listen to those. Give those a listen, please. You can also find us on YouTube. Type in our name in the search bar. You Feel Me podcast. You can see our beautiful faces. You click on that. You can listen to us bicker and argue. We would appreciate it. You like, subscribe, and comment. You know, let's keep this train moving, man, because we're doing wonders, man, and you guys are loving us. So please keep it going. If you can't watch us on YouTube, we're anywhere your free podcasts are sold. Stitcher, Spotify. We're on Apple podcasts. We're on Overcast. Check us out on Overcast. Please download the Overcast app. Once you download the app, you can find us, You Feel Me podcast. Download us, and we get a little kickback for that. We greatly appreciate that. Excuse me. If you have any questions for us, send your questions to questions@youfeelmepodcast.com. We read them out loud on the live stream. We can also read them on these episodes as well if we get them in time. You can also find us on Patreon, as I like to call it, Patron. We have $2 levels, $5 levels, $20 levels. Please give us money. We will take all of your money, and we will. But no, trust us. We'll be doing the right thing with the money. Every dollar that we get from the podcast, we put it back towards the podcast to keep this thing going. We're not doing nothing crazy or shady. You know, everything to keep the podcast going. That's what we're doing. Fearless. Jim B. Fearless is one of the greatest rappers of all time. That's the guy that's sitting next to me, right across from me, excuse me. He has dropped 2 albums last year, Fi and one called Kobayashi. They're great albums. You go and listen to those albums, and when you get done listening to those, you can go and find our album review episodes on both of those albums. Great albums and great episodes. So you're in for a treat if you gotta, you want to clean up the house, listen to some dope music, and listen to us break down those albums. That's what you can do for about 4 or 5 hours or so. We give you out great entertainment. You can find us on the social medias. On Instagram, we are on You Feel Me Pod, at You Feel Me Pod. On Twitter, it's at You Feel Me Cast. Okay. We are on TikTok as well as You Feel Me Podcast, and Facebook groups. We have joined the podcast group. You can find us at You Feel Me Podcast. We'll be looking for you guys. Hopefully you can look for us. We'd love to do a collaboration to get us the ball rolling on both of our podcasts, man.
Word.
There's a lot to be said and done out here, and we want to meet you guys just like you want to meet us, man. Fearless, is there anything I'm forgetting, bro?
Nah, man.
Anything.
Just remember to say peace to the people.
Man, great, man. Thank you guys for everything. Peace to y'all. Y'all have a great day. And we will see you next week. Peace.
Buy a hat with your punk ass. Gas.